Was I wearing this shirt in the last video I made? Ha! I was! In my defense, this is like one of the few long sleeve shirts I own, so whatever. Hey guys, it's Hannah, and today I'm finally here with my December wrap-up and January TBR, even though it's already like halfway through January, so I've already read some books. Yeah, I'm making a video. The first book I read in the month of December was 1984 by George Orwell. This book's like a classic dystopian, and I really enjoyed it, but I also was mad at it. It's hard to explain without spoiling it. I think I might make a video kind of comparing it with Fahrenheit 451 because they have very similar aspects, but they go about it very differently. And I really enjoyed both of them, but I enjoyed Fahrenheit 451 more, and I think I know why, so I'm gonna kind of maybe figure that out, maybe make a video, may never make a video about that, but I really enjoyed 1984 by George Orwell. It was a very eye-opening read, and I really, really liked it. Second book I finished in the month of December was Annabelle Lee by Mike Napa. Now, this book, I'm one of the few youth that actually check out books from the library at my church, and so they kind of, if I want a book, they'll go and buy me that book, which is great. Then sometimes they're like, hey, you wanted this, didn't you? I'm like, I've never even heard of it, but I mean, I'll take it, okay, that sounds great. And so this book was one of those where they're like, you wanted this, didn't you? And I'm like, I mean, I'll take it. And I was very confused because I thought it was supposed to be like a retelling of Annabelle Lee the poem by Edgar Allan Poe, but it's not. Just a collection of his poems and short stories has a lot to do within the story, and one of the characters is named Annabelle Lee, and so there are like a lot of facts about Edgar Allan Poe and info about Edgar Allan Poe, but it's not like a retelling of the poem, which would have been cool, but I was really confused as to how that was going to work. It was a good book. It was also honestly kind of boring at points, but it was also interesting. I was in a slump when I read it, and so it just wasn't grabbing me the way I wanted it to. So I didn't really care very much. I give it like, I think 3 stars, and honestly I kind of DNF'd it. I just kind of skimmed it, and if I just skim a book I feel like I basically DNF'd it because I couldn't really tell you what went on the whole book, like in the middle. I don't remember anything. I really don't. So I mean, you can give it a go, but I thought it was kind of meh, but it might have been kind of meh just because I wasn't in a reading mood. You see what I'm saying? The next book I read was Paper Towns by John Green. Now, if you know, I read The Fault in Our Stars back then. I didn't really care for it, but Lisby said that I needed to read Paper Towns just for the road trip part. And I'm thinking, okay, this is gonna be like kind of a major part of the book. It was at the very, 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 very end, and she told me it was, but I had this thing in my brain like, no, it's not that far back. There's no way it's that far back in the book. Oh, it's that far back in the book. Just know that if you're there for the road trip, you got a ways to go. But I actually really enjoyed this one. I don't know what made me enjoy it so much more than The Fault in Our Stars, but I enjoyed this one. So this one gets a good thumbs up for me. It's not a 5-star, but it's a 4-star. And I think I'll try a few more of his books, so we'll see. The next book is The Strange and Unusual Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde by Robert Louis Stevenson. That is a mouthful. This book is phenomenal. It's super short and a super quick read, and it gave me that same kind of feeling that Dracula gave me, and y'all know I love Dracula. I love Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It was an amazing book. It was quick, but it grabs you and you don't want to finish it. It's great. It manages to thoroughly explain everything that's going on in such a short amount of time, so you're never lost as to what's going on, and it's just a phenomenally written book, and I highly suggest you read it. The last book I read in the month of December I actually own a physical copy of. What? And that is Take the Key and Lock Her Up by Ali Carter. I actually got this the 23rd of December. It was supposed to come out December 27th, but I got it on the 23rd, and so Christmas Eve we stayed up late watching a movie. And I still wasn't very tired, and so I decided, you know what, I'll just start this book. I'll just start it. You know, that one more chapter thing is the biggest lie I tell myself. So I ended up staying up to like, I think 4, because we finished the movie around like 12:30 or 1, and then I read this in about 3 hours maybe, so I think it was about 4 that I went to bed that night. But it's such a good book. It's an Ali Carter book through and through, and Ali Carter never disappoints with her books. And this one just really stuck with me and hit home, and I loved it so much, and the romance was so stinking cute. Oh my gosh, guys. It was amazing. I don't know what it is, but that final book is usually the book I love the most, and that's definitely the case with this series. I loved this book so much. I think it's, I don't know, favorite overall of Ally Carter is like impossible for me to choose, but definitely my favorite from the Embassy Rose series. But again, that's still hard to choose. I just like them all. So if you haven't finished the series yet, or if you haven't started the series yet, go read it. It's about a girl whose grandfather lives in an embassy in a country called Adria, and she goes to live with him after some stuff has gone down regarding her mother's death. And she teams up with a bunch of the other kids in the embassy to try and figure out the mystery behind her mother's death. And it is amazing. So amazing. You need to read it if you haven't yet. I'm serious. Now we're on to the TBR, and since this is the middle of the month, I don't have a very long TBR. Now I've read, let's check GOODREADS. I've read 3 books so far. And I'm currently reading To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. This is actually my first time to read it, which I know is kind of crazy because it's such a big classic, and y'all know I'm a classics person. I don't know why I've been putting it off, I just have. I never was really in the mood for it, I guess, but I'm in the mood for it now. Guys, Jim, I'm in love. And Atticus is great. And Scout is amazing. I love her. It's a really good book. I'm kicking myself for not reading it sooner. I really don't know why. I'm not even halfway yet, but I am really enjoying it so far, and we'll definitely finish this month. And I guess I'll just pick up the stack of books I got at the library that one time that I still haven't read yet, but they're on my list. Okay, so these books, I went to the library because I helped teach like tech classes at the library, and I was kind of, you know, coming out of that slump that I was mentioning, and so I was like, you know what, I'll go by the YA section and I'll see if there's anything that catches my eye. So I just kind of walked through and I took a book if it caught my eye. So these are the books that caught my eye. Doesn't mean I'm gonna get to them, because I probably will not get to them. But I have them in my room at the moment, so I might. The first one I have is Winter, which is the final book in the Lunar Chronicle series, which I need to finish, and hopefully if I get to any of these books, it'll at least be this one. They just fell over. I love the Lunar Chronicle series, I just haven't finished it yet, and I need to finish it. So hopefully I can get to this, because I know I'm going to love it. I know I'm going to whiz through it even though it's so big. I know it's going to be great. I just haven't done it yet. I don't know why. The next one I grabbed was Salt to the Sea by Ruta Sepetys. I know I've heard it said multiple times, but I've heard it said different ways multiple times, so I don't know which one's correct. This is a historical fiction set in World War II, but it's set not in a normal country that World War II books are set in. This doesn't say what country it's set in. That doesn't help me. Well, I'm pretty sure it's not set in like Russia or Germany or America or like the typical places for World War II books. And I know it's based off a true story, I'm pretty sure. And I've heard great things about it, but honestly I got home with it and I was kind of like, you know what, now I'm not really in the mood for historical fiction anymore. So I don't know if I'll get to this one. I want to read it eventually because I heard such great things about it, and I love, oh hey, there's someone named Joanna? Hey! They spell it wrong though, there should be 2 N's. My sister's named Joanna, so that's why I'm like, oh, that's cool. Where was I? I was going somewhere with my words. What was I talking about? So I've heard great things about it, and I love historical fiction, so eventually I'll hopefully be able to read it, but I don't know if I'm in the mood for it anymore right now, so it probably won't be read right now. The next one I grabbed is another one that probably won't be read right now. Maybe in October, because it would definitely fit in October, and that is Teen Frankenstein by Chandler Baker. I saw this on a few people's channels, and I love Frankenstein, so I thought, hey, that might be interesting. It actually still has the receipt from the library in it. I don't think I'll get to it now, but it's fun. I got it from the library. I think I'll read it eventually. It sounds interesting, but I just don't think right now is when I'm gonna read it. The last one, which is actually the one I think I'm gonna try to read first, that is Kill the Boy Band by Goldie Moldavsky. Yeah. What I've gathered is that there are crazed fans, they're after a boy band, they just want to like see them or something, and they end up accidentally kidnapping the least popular one. And then they have to figure out what they're gonna do about that. So yeah, I think I'll read this one next, or Winter. Those are the 2 that I grabbed that are still like holding my interest. The other 2 I'm kind of like, I'm not in the mood anymore, but those 2 I think I might get to them eventually. So that is it for this video. Hopefully my January wrap-up and February TBR will actually be on time. I think it will. It should, hopefully. hopefully. Comment down below and let me know how your reading month has gone so far since we're in the middle of it. Are you reading what you're wanting to read and you're, doing good, or are you kind of like, never had a bad reading month? That's okay, because as y'all know, in November, I didn't read a single book and I'm still mad about that. Again, videos are going to be a little sporadic, a little unorthodox, a little random, until I kind of get my ball rolling again, get back on track and that sort of thing. So I'm sorry that this is like, what is this, 2 weeks after the last one I posted, but it's another video. You're welcome for that, right? So I'm sorry there isn't really like a set schedule as to when I'm doing things, but I'm getting a video up every now and then, and so I'm happy with that. I hope y'all are. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see y'all again in another one soon.